Stay with me.
I'm scared.
I won't let go.
Promise? This moment feels like a dream.
Then let's never wake up.
Promise me.
I promise.
A girl in the rain. The rain was falling hard that night. Not softly. Not gently. It was cold. Heavy. Unforgiving. Aaliyah stood near an old bus stop, holding a torn backpack close to her chest. Inside it were all her belongings. One sweater. One notebook. One broken phone. And a photo of her mother. That was all she had left in the world. People passed by her. Some looked away. Some pretended not to see her. Some whispered. Another beggar. She should get a job. She's probably dangerous. No one asked her story. No one cared. Because to them, she was invisible. Far away. Beyond the human city. Beyond the neon lights and crowded streets. Stood a palace made of black stone and silver glass. A palace that had never known sunlight. This was the Night Citadel. The home of vampires. And on its highest throne sat King Lucian Noctis. Feared. Respected. Untouchable. For 500 years, he had ruled the vampire world. He had won wars. He had crushed rebellions. He had never shown mercy. His eyes were silver. His hair was dark as midnight. His voice was calm, but deadly. No one dared to disappoint him. Yet tonight, he felt restless. His heart, if it could still be called that, felt strange. Heavy. Uneasy. Like something important was calling him. Somewhere. In the human world. Back on the streets. Aaliyah finally gathered courage. She walked into a small cafe. Warm air hit her face. The smell of coffee made her stomach ache. She hadn't eaten in 2 days. She walked to the counter. Her voice was soft. Excuse me. Ma'am, do you have any leftover food? The cashier looked at her clothes. Her wet hair. Her tired eyes. And frowned. We don't give free food here. Aaliyah lowered her head. I can clean. Wash dishes. Anything. People started staring. A man laughed. Look at her. Begging like a stray cat. Another woman whispered loudly. These people are always looking for sympathy. The cashier snapped. Get out before I call security. Aaliyah's eyes filled with tears. But she didn't cry. She just nodded. And walked out. Again. Rejected. Again. Alone. That same moment. King Lucian stood on his palace balcony. Wind moved his cloak. The moon was full. Suddenly. He froze. A sharp pain hit his chest. Not physical. Something deeper. Something ancient. A bond, he whispered. His advisor, Victor, rushed over. My king? Lucian's eyes glowed faintly. I felt her. Her? Victor asked. The one, destined to me. Victor looked shocked. That is impossible. The bond hasn't appeared in centuries. Lucian clenched his fists. It has now. And without another word, he disappeared into the night. Aaliyah walked down an empty street. Streetlights flickered. Shadows stretched. Her phone was dead. Her legs were tired. Then she heard it. Footsteps. Behind her. She turned. 3 men stood there, smiling. Not kind smiles. Dangerous ones. Well, one said. Pretty girl alone at night. Aaliyah's heart raced. Please. I don't have anything. They stepped closer. Maybe you do. Fear froze her body. She tried to run, but slipped on wet ground. She fell. Tears finally came. Please, don't. Suddenly, the air changed. The wind stopped. The lights flickered. A shadow fell over them. A deep voice spoke. Step away from her. They turned. A tall man stood there. Black coat. Silver eyes. Power in every breath. Who the hell are you? One laughed. Lucien's eyes flashed red. In your last moments, you should have chosen silence. Before they could react, they were thrown across the street. Like dolls. Unconscious. Breathing. Alive. Because Lucien had chosen mercy. For her. Aaliyah looked up. Trembling. Confused. She saw him. And her world stopped. He didn't look human. He looked like a dream. Or a curse. Or both. Are you hurt? Lucien asked softly. No one had spoken to her like that in years. She shook her head. I think so. He took off his coat. Placed it around her shoulders. Warm. Safe. Real. You're safe now, he said. And for the first time, she believed it. Lucien studied her face. Her tired eyes. Her innocence. Her strength. She didn't beg him. She didn't cling. She didn't scream. She just looked grateful. And that broke him. Something inside his immortal heart cracked. She's mine, he thought. Not to own. But to protect. Aaliyah whispered. Why did you help me? Lucien answered honestly. Because, when I saw you. He paused. The night chose you. He extended his hand. Come with me. To where? She asked. To my world. She hesitated. Homeless. Alone. Broken. Yet. Safe with him. She placed her hand in his. And the darkness swallowed them both. Entering the vampire palace. Aaliyah blinked, her eyes adjusting to the dim glow of towering chandeliers and walls of black stone. The air smelled faintly of night-blooming flowers and something, cold, metallic, powerful. She shivered, tugging the coat Lucien had draped over her shoulders tighter. Where am I? She whispered. How did I even get here? Lucien's eyes scanned the hall, silver like moonlight cutting through darkness. His voice was calm, commanding. My home. Aaliyah's heart pounded. She wanted to ask more, but something in his presence silenced her. Not fear exactly, more like awe. Every step she took echoed. Shadows seemed to twist along the walls. From the corners of the hall, eyes followed her. Whispered words barely audible. A human? The king brought her here. She doesn't belong. Aaliyah felt every glance. Every judgment. Her hands were clammy. Her lips trembled. She swallowed and tried to stand taller, though she felt so small. Lucien bent slightly, his voice low. Ignore them. Here, your place is beside me. No one will touch you if I say so. For the first time in her life, someone had given her that kind of reassurance. Not pity. Not charity. Protection. Then came the most dangerous moment, the queen. Celine entered, her pale hair flowing like smoke, red eyes sharp as daggers. Her gaze landed on Aaliyah, and a cruel smile formed. "So this is the girl," she hissed. "The king's new interest?" Aaliyah's stomach twisted. I just wanted to thank him," she stammered softly. "He saved my life." The queen's laughter echoed coldly through the hall. "Thank him? There is no place for humans here. You are a mistake." Aaliyah felt the world tilt. Her chest tightened. She had hoped this new world might offer safety. Instead, it mocked her. Lucien stepped forward, his presence cutting through the tension. "Enough. One word." The hall went silent. The queen's smirk faltered just enough. Lucien's aura alone demanded respect, even from centuries-old vampires. That night, Aaliyah was led to a room she couldn't have imagined in her wildest dreams. High ceilings, soft candlelight, and walls that gleamed like black glass. But despite the beauty, her heart felt hollow. She sat on the edge of the bed, whispering to herself. "Why am I here? I don't belong. I never will." A knock at the door. Lucien entered, his coat trailing behind him, eyes softer now. "You don't need to be afraid," he said gently. "Not here. Not with me." Aaliyah looked at him, unsure how to trust something so powerful. I don't know if I can fit in," she admitted. Lucien knelt slightly, so he was closer to her level. His silver eyes softened. "You don't have to fit in. You just have to be yourself. That is enough, for me." The next morning, she was led through the palace corridors. Every step revealed grandeur and danger, guards with fangs glinting, ancient tomes, portraits of long-dead vampire kings and queens staring down at her. Aaliyah felt tiny, overwhelmed, but Lucien stayed near her side, a constant shield. "Look around you," he said. "This world may seem cruel, but it is mine to protect. And now, you are part of it." For the first time, she allowed herself to believe it. Not fully yet, but enough to hope. As the day faded, Lucien led her to a balcony overlooking the city. The moon reflected on the dark river, shimmering silver. Aaliyah whispered. "It's beautiful, but scary." He turned to her, softly. "Everything worth protecting is. You are worth it." Her heart raced. She didn't fully understand why, but a warmth spread in her chest. For the first time, someone truly saw her. Not as weak. Not as a mistake. As someone important. And in that moment, the slow burn began. That night, whispers echoed through the palace. Queen Selene had a plan. Lucien's enemies were stirring. And Aaliyah was still learning the rules of this dangerous, beautiful world. Would she survive the palace intrigue? Would her heart remain unbroken as the vampire world tested her? Next time, shadows will fall, hearts will clash, and trust will be tested. She thought she was learning to survive. But in the palace, danger has 1,000 faces. Aaliyah had barely begun to understand the palace rules. Every corridor, every flicker of shadow seemed to watch her. Queen Selene stood on the balcony, her red eyes glinting with malice. "He brought a human here. And she thinks she's safe," Selene whispered. A loyal guard leaned in. "My queen, what should we do?" Selene smiled, cruel and slow. "Test her. Let her see the truth of this world. Let her prove she belongs, or be broken." The next day, Aaliyah was led into a large hall filled with ancient vampires. Their eyes glimmered like silver knives. Whispers followed her every step. The human girl. The king's folly. Aaliyah's chest tightened, fear rising. But she remembered Lucien's words. "You don't have to fit in. Just be yourself. That is enough, for me." She took a deep breath and held her head high. "I will not hide. I will not shrink," she whispered to herself. Some vampires sneered, but others watched with curiosity. This human had courage. Lucien observed from the shadows, his silver eyes sharp. He noticed how Aaliyah flinched at a whisper, yet straightened her posture when a vampire tried to intimidate her. He approached quietly, standing just behind her. "Remember," he said softly, "you are mine to protect. Let nothing break you tonight." Aaliyah turned slightly, meeting his gaze. A warmth surged in her chest, a mix of safety and something deeper, something dangerous and thrilling. Queen Selene called Aaliyah forward. "Human," she said, her voice like ice. "You think you can survive here? Let's see if you can face the darkness itself." She gestured, and shadows seemed to rise from the walls, forming eerie shapes that whispered threats. Aaliyah's knees shook, but she clenched her fists. "I'm not afraid," she whispered. Lucien stepped forward, placing a hand lightly on her shoulder, not to stop her, but to steady her. "Face them," he said. "You will learn quickly who rules this world, and why you survive." Aaliyah drew a deep breath, and for the first time, she fought back with nothing but courage and determination. After the trial, Aaliyah returned to her room, exhausted but unbroken. Lucien waited for her, leaning against the doorway. "You did well," he said, his voice calm but full of pride. She blushed slightly, exhausted from the adrenaline. I almost failed," she admitted. "Almost?" he murmured, a faint smile breaking his usual calm. "You never will. Not while I'm here." Her heart skipped. It wasn't just safety she felt with him anymore, it was connection, fragile but real. Later, Aaliyah looked out a balcony at the moonlit city. Whispers from the palace seemed to crawl along the halls like living shadows. She realized the world she entered was dangerous, seductive, and beautiful all at once. And one thought kept repeating in her mind. "I belong here, but at what cost?" Lucien appeared silently beside her, his hand brushing hers. "Whatever comes," he said, "we face it together." Her breath caught. She didn't know the dangers ahead. But she knew she wanted him by her side. Queen Selene's plan is still in motion. Enemies in the palace watch her every move. Aaliyah must learn to survive the vampire court and navigate the slow-burning bond that is becoming impossible to ignore. Will her courage be enough? Will her heart stay strong as danger closes in from every shadow? She thought she knew the palace. But some secrets are darker than the night itself. The palace was silent, but Aaliyah could feel it, the weight of eyes watching her from every shadow. Every whisper of silk, every echo of footsteps felt like a warning. Queen Selene had not forgotten her. "This human girl," Selene whispered to a group of vampires, "thinks she can survive among us. Let's show her how fragile she really is." Aaliyah's heart tightened. She had survived the first trials, but danger was multiplying. Lucien guided her through the palace gardens at midnight, the moon painting silver lines across the black stone. "The palace is beautiful," Aaliyah whispered. "But it feels alive." Lucien's silver eyes softened. "It is alive, and it judges everyone. But you are stronger than you think." Before she could reply, a group of vampires stepped out from the shadows, their expressions cold. "You are in our world now, human," one said, "and every action has consequences." Aaliyah froze, but Lucien placed his hand lightly on her back. "Remember what I taught you," he said. "Stand tall. Fear only gives them power." Later that night, Lucien led Aaliyah to the highest tower of the palace. From there, the city lights twinkled like distant stars. "Do you know why I saved you?" he asked. Aaliyah shook her head. "Because, when I saw you, I felt something I haven't felt in centuries," Lucien confessed. "Something human. Something real." Her heart skipped. She had never imagined a vampire, one feared by all, could feel this way. "You trust me," he whispered. I think I do, she admitted. And in that moment, their hands brushed. Just a touch, but enough to ignite a fire neither expected. And for the first time, Aaliyah realized fear could be a weapon, and courage, even stronger. Suddenly, alarms echoed through the palace. Queen Celine's faction had launched a covert attack, vampires moving in silence, eyes glowing red. Aaliyah panicked. Lucien, what do we do? Stay close, he said, taking her hand. I will protect you. They moved through the palace halls, avoiding traps and ambushes, their bond strengthening with every step. You trust me to fight for you? He asked. Yes, she whispered. And he realized, her courage was no longer just human vulnerability, it was strength that could match him. After the attack was repelled, Lucien brought Aaliyah back to a quiet balcony. The wind tousled her hair, and the moonlight reflected in their eyes. You were incredible tonight, he said softly. I should have expected it, but, he paused, his voice low, almost a whisper, I am proud of you. Aaliyah looked at him, flushed and overwhelmed. I couldn't have done it without you, she admitted. No, Lucien corrected gently. You did this yourself. I only guided you. And that makes you remarkable. For the first time, Aaliyah felt seen. Not just protected, but respected, admired, and desired. The night deepened, quiet except for the soft rustle of trees and distant city sounds. Lucien turned to her, silver eyes glowing in the moonlight. Whatever the palace throws at us, he said, we face it together. I will never let anyone harm you. Never. Aaliyah's chest swelled. She wanted to trust him completely. I believe you, she whispered. And in that moment, the slow-burn romance ignited further, fragile, dangerous, but impossible to ignore. Queen Celine's next move was coming. Enemies within the palace plotted in silence. Aaliyah's courage and heart would be tested more than ever. Would she survive the coming darkness? Could her bond with Lucien withstand betrayal and danger? The palace was quiet, but tonight, destiny would decide everything.
Promise me.
The vampire palace felt heavier than ever. Every shadow, every whisper, seemed to wait for something. Aaliyah walked slowly down the main hall, clutching her coat close. She had survived trials, dangers, and court whispers, but now, a strange tension gripped her chest. Lucien was at her side, his silver eyes calm, yet alert. Tonight, he whispered, everything changes. You will see the true nature of this world, and your place in it. Aaliyah nodded, heart pounding, but she didn't feel fear, not fully. She felt ready. Queen Celine appeared in the grand hall, her red eyes sharp as ever. So, the human girl still stands, she said coldly. You've learned some courage, but courage alone cannot protect you. Aaliyah's hands shook slightly, but she straightened her back. I don't need protection from everyone, only from him, she said softly, looking at Lucien. The queen's eyes narrowed. Bold words, but words are not enough. Prove your loyalty, or leave this palace forever. Lucien stepped closer to Aaliyah, his presence like a shield. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone else, he said quietly. I see your courage. I see your heart. And that is enough for me. Aaliyah felt a warmth spread in her chest. For the first time, someone believed in her fully, not just as a human girl, but as herself. Then I choose to stay, she whispered. With you. Lucien's lips curved into a rare, soft smile. Then you belong here, with me. The tension in the hall shifted. Queen Celine's followers backed away, silently acknowledging Lucien's authority. Aaliyah's courage had earned respect, not just from the king, but from the palace itself. For the first time, the whispers turned from doubt to curiosity. Lucien placed a hand lightly on Aaliyah's shoulder. You've survived every trial. And now, the palace sees the truth. Aaliyah felt a mixture of relief, pride, and something deeper, a connection with Lucien that was impossible to ignore. Later, they stood on the balcony, overlooking the moonlit city. The wind played through Aaliyah's hair. "I never imagined I'd find safety. Or something like this," she whispered. Lucien's silver eyes softened as he brushed a strand of hair from her face. "You've changed me too," he said. "Centuries of power, and only you could make me feel this way." Aaliyah's heart skipped. She reached for his hand. "Then we face everything together?" "Together," he confirmed. And in that moment, all the fear, danger, and whispers of the palace faded. They weren't just king and human anymore. They were partners, equals, and something more, love in the darkness. Queen Celine still lingered in the shadows, planning future moves. But Aaliyah had survived. She had earned her place. And with Lucien by her side, she was ready for whatever the night could bring. The story closes with trust, love, and courage triumphing over fear. Aaliyah finally belongs, not just to the night, but to the king who sees her heart.
This moment feels like a dream.
Then let's never wake up.
Promise me.
I promise.